going to find out that 58-year-old men are 58-year-old men no matter what they look like. Right. And Jake Paul is a 28-year-old athlete in the prime of his life. Yeah.
We're about to see a harsh truth. A 58-year-old man is still a 58-year-old man, no matter how good he looks. Meanwhile, Jake Paul is a 28-year-old athlete in his prime. Just look at how staged this fight feels. Tyson could have ended it with a knockout right here, but instead, he chose to just circle around and do nothing. This version keeps the critical tone while being concise and engaging. Let me know if you need further edits.
Actually take a chance at Mike Tyson not being able to do what he used to.
Joe Rogan didn't just criticize the idea of a Mike Tyson vs. Jake Paul rematch, he absolutely roasted it. He tore it apart, set it on fire, and watched it burn. We all respect Tyson for his legendary career, but after this scripted fight fiasco, that respect is starting to wear thin. This version tightens the flow while maintaining the dramatic tone. Let me know your thoughts.
Fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X a few years ago. Now this script has went viral. Let's see how accurate it was. Opening bell rings, Tyson is showing flashes of his old form, which actually happened. As soon as the bell went, Mike Tyson came out with that head movement, pushing forward. Immediately he stalks forward with his signature bob and weave.
Even Turkey Al-Sheikh, the guy with more cash than sense, jumped in to mock Tyson, throwing out a $700 million offer for a rematch. It was like saying, if Tyson's willing to sell out for money, let's see just how much it'll take. And after all that, both Tyson and Jake Paul quietly backed off. As if they suddenly remembered they had better things to do. This version keeps the tone sharp and concise while emphasizing the absurdity of the situation. Let me know if this works.
Man, it's a different thing with that guy.
Well, it's like Matt always says, play to your strengths.
Yeah,
no
but
doubt.
you know, you got to take that payday. I mean, what did he make out of that fight? He probably made $10 million.
Yeah,
and Jake Paul's very smart, man. Like he gets guys that he's bigger
than,
the
younger
only time
than.
he fought another boxer his size was Tom Fury, and he lost.
But don't worry, Joe Rogan swooped in with the cold, hard truth, breaking down exactly why this rematch is never going to happen.
Will we let a 58-year-old man compete other than golf?
Right.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, why are we letting this happen?
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but he's made for it, man. Like, he's made
Mike
for it.
is?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Listen,
dude, he's perfectly capable of that.
And that's what stings the most, seeing Mike Tyson, the man who built his career on devastating knockouts, looking like a shadow of himself on November 15th. His punches barely landed, his footwork was non-existent, and his entire demeanor screamed, "I'd rather be anywhere else." So, what's the deal? Was Tyson really that out of shape, or was he just not trying? Fans couldn't help but wonder if the whole thing was scripted, and honestly, who could blame them? This wasn't the Tyson we've respected for years. This was a Tyson who looked more ready for a cup of tea than a fight. This version sharpens the tone while keeping the emotional weight intact. Let me know if it resonates.
The Tyson versus Paul script was fully leaked all the way down to the bow Jake did in round 8. This profile on X posted it anonymously one day before the fight, explaining everything before deleting it.
Joe Rogan, who wasted no time tearing into the whole charade. He went in hard, mocking Tyson's lackluster punches and turtle paste movements. Rogan didn't hold back, flat out calling the fight a con job. If Tyson could throw a fight without putting Jake Paul on the mat, why not do it again? Rogan quipped. According to him, Tyson wasn't there to win, he was there for the paycheck. And when you really think about it, it all adds up. Tyson didn't look like a man trying to reclaim his glory days. He looked like someone just doing the bare minimum to get paid. Forget legacy, this was all about the money. This version emphasizes Rogan's critique while keeping the tone sharp and focused. Let me know your thoughts.
Let me ask you your opinion about last night. Did you stay up to watch Mike Tyson and Jake Paul?
I actually did. I actually watched it, and I felt, while watching it, I felt disgusted. Disgusted at Jake Paul for putting this together, knowing that Tyson was 58 years old. See, I'm a fighter myself, and I once tried coming back at 48 years old, and my body just shut down.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, led by Turkey Al-Sheikh, stepped in with a jaw-dropping $700 million offer for a rematch. This version keeps it concise and impactful, highlighting the drama of the situation. Let me know if you'd like any tweaks.
His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh, he wants to see the rematch between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, and he's now offering Mike Tyson $700 million.
That's not just pocket change, it's the kind of offer that makes you forget all about legacy and start calculating how many mansions you can buy. Sure, Tyson's a legend, but for $700 million, who wouldn't step into the ring with Jake Paul? At that price, who cares if it tarnishes your legacy? Money like that doesn't grow on trees. This version keeps the tone light and engaging while emphasizing the absurdity of the situation. Let me know if it works.
So when you're gonna fight a 28-year-old like Jake Paul against Tyson, who is a legend, he's a national treasure, a world treasure. I felt a little disgusted. Not on Mike Tyson. I feel bad for Tyson, but you know what? I'm proud of Tyson. But Jake Paul, hey, if you want to fight Zurdo right now, let's do it, and he will knock you out.
Then there's Jake Paul, the man who's turned questionable fights and viral moments into an entire career. Love him or hate him, Jake knows exactly how to get attention. He's not winning boxing matches because of his skill, he's winning the drama, the clicks, and the spectacle. Jake Paul is a walking reality TV show, and let's face it, that's why he's still in the spotlight. When the Tyson rematch fell through, Jake Paul came out on top. Why? Because he never had to step into the ring with someone who could actually challenge him. Instead, he gets to ride the wave of controversy without ever being tested. It's genius, really. Why risk getting knocked out when you can play the victim of a canceled fight and stay in the headlines? This version captures Jake's strategy while keeping the tone sharp and engaging. Let me know if you'd like any changes.
Such an incredible fight, and bring it to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
It is not something to surprise on. We have a lot to fight.
Joe Rogan's take on Jake Paul's boxing career couldn't be clearer. It's not about sportsmanship, it's about views, headlines, and drama. To Rogan, Jake isn't chasing competition, he's chasing fame. Why risk a real fight with Tyson when you can keep the hype train rolling without exposing your lack of skill? For Jake, avoiding the rematch is just another way to keep the clicks coming. Why face humiliation when you can keep pretending to be a champion? Meanwhile, Mike Tyson's legacy, once defined by pure fear and respect inside the ring, is starting to slip. In his prime, Tyson was the epitome of dominance. This version captures the contrasting narratives of Jake and Tyson while keeping the tone sharp and engaging. Let me know if you'd like any tweaks.
It's like, people don't understand what a champ he was. Like, he wasn't just the heavyweight champion of the world, he was an execution.
From 1985 to 1990, he made history, becoming the youngest heavyweight champion at just 20 years old. During his prime, he wasn't just winning, he was destroying opponents with knockouts so brutal they left fans speechless. His raw, untamed power wasn't just impressive, it was terrifying. Just the sight of him was enough to make even the toughest fighters hesitate before stepping into the ring. But now, in the twilight of his career, Tyson's decline is impossible to ignore. The man who once embodied fear and dominance is now stepping away from rematches and shying away from public discussions about his past performances. It's a far cry from the unstoppable force that once ruled the ring.
Wasn't the Tyson-Jake fight, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah. It's amazing they got paid so much money for that.
25 million and 40 million?
I think 20.
Take, for example, Tyson's refusal to rematch Jake Paul after their first fight many believe was more spectacle than competition. By seemingly closing the door on any future fights, Tyson has left fans wondering, what does this mean for his legacy? Joe Rogan hasn't held back on this subject. In a 2024 podcast, Rogan called Tyson's reluctance to rematch Paul a betrayal of the fans who once idolized him. Rogan openly criticized Tyson, accusing him of choosing comfort over the challenge of redemption in the ring. He even went as far as saying that Tyson's refusal has tarnished a legacy that once felt untouchable, a legacy that, until his infamous loss to Buster Douglas in 1990, was the epitome of dominance. Tyson's recent actions suggest he's more focused on avoiding risk than reclaiming the glory of his past. It's a stark contrast to the fearless warrior who once ruled the ring.
Is he a legitimate boxer?
A legitimate boxer, yes. People mocked me when I was saying that before, but now I think people...
Tyson's reluctance to return to the ring has left fans speculating. Sure, age is a factor. Tyson is 58 years old, and at that stage in any athlete's life, health and injury risks become serious concerns. But this isn't just about age. For years, Tyson's health has been a public concern. After decades of hard living and countless injuries, his body isn't the powerhouse it once was. But many believe his hesitation to take on rematches goes deeper than physical limitations. It's not just the risks in the ring, it's the fear of what another poor performance could do to his legacy. Tyson knows how fragile his reputation is. Imagine the fallout if Jake Paul, of all people, managed to knock him out. The damage to his legacy could be irreparable. In a way, Tyson might be terrified of confirming the whispers that have grown louder he's no longer the baddest man on the planet. And why would he risk it? A man who has already made a fortune has little incentive to put his health and his legacy on the line.